No! If you... Mountainleap, you'll doom yourself if they find out.
Frankly, I don't care what happens to me at this point. I'm ending this.
I won't let you. If I have to protect you from yourself, I will. Stop! Mountainleap, please.
Get out of my way.
Or what? There's no getting out of this, not in a way you'll like. I can handle it. Let me!
Mountainleap slyly approached Snowstep, grinning. Hey, he mewed. I got you something.
Hey, she replied in a mocking tone before her eyes flicked down to the flowers in Mountainleap's maw. Oh?
Pick them up on patrol, she smiled, moving in close and sitting beside Snowstep. I thought they'd go well with your adornments.
There's always room for more. Snowstep's tail tip curled towards her frame as Mountainleap sat close. She then pulled her tail aside, gently wrapping it around him. That's really sweet. Thank you. She'd purr.
Mountainleap stifled her smile, face warm. Carefully, she weaved the flowers into her lover's fur. The blue suits you, Snowflake.
Snowflake, something Mountainleap had called Snowstep for a long time. She tried to stay still as the flower was woven into her fur among the other flowers and leaves. How was the patrol? I know things have been tense.
Mountainleap paused, drifting away from Snowstep for a moment. It was alright. We couldn't find anything, though. They resigned, putting a smile back on. My usual charm didn't work either.
Snowstep offered a half smile in return, shifting a bit. She tightened her grip around Mountainleap with her tail. Snowstep's ears perked as she heard a call from the leader.
Looks like a meeting.
She glanced to her side. She dipped her head, greeting to her sister. As many of you know by now, Lochsong is missing. We've sent out countless search patrols, but to no avail. She frowned, looking at her clan. The most recent one, yet again, has found nothing. Snowstep, with her tail once again around Mountainleap, let out a disgruntled merp sound.
Mountainleap shut her eyes, burying herself in Snowstep's fur. It was beginning to feel hopeless.
Despite our efforts, there is still no sign of Lochsong. It is becoming taxing on our clan, and I believe it would be a fruitless endeavor to continue the search, she said solemnly. So that's that? Snowstep mumbled under her breath. That's absurd, Greyflower scoffed. Must be somewhere, dead or alive. We shall send out one more search patrol, a last chance. If there's still no sign of them, then they're truly gone, she said, finally on the matter. As for Lochsong's apprentice, Erpaw, she stated, they need a new mentor. Snowstep's eyes refocused on Mousestar as they spoke. Right, Lochsong had an apprentice. We must keep our apprentices in training. Therefore, Mountainleap, she turned her gaze to the feline. I trust you shall carry on Lochsong's efforts.
Mountainleap adjusted himself as he stood, turning to look for Airpaw. His eyes softened, seeing the cat. A shame that this had to be what led to him becoming a mentor.
Wait, no, they could still be out there. We haven't done the search. Not yet. His voice strained on every word as his eyes landed on Mountainleap, distraught.
Snowstep followed, meeting Mountainleap at the hip, though she said nothing, eyes looking down on Airpaw.
Mountainleap visibly flinched, but tried to hide it. He had to be strong for the both of them. Hey, she spoke softly. It's all right. I'm sure we'll find Lochsong soon. And in the meantime, I can help train you, so when they come back, you'll have some new skills to show them. They smiled.
She nodded, turning back to the crowd. Gather in for patrols, she yelled sternly. Let's move.
He sighed, the leader's words over his. He didn't have a choice. He had a replacement now. He glanced away. Right.
Mountainleap glanced at the poor apprentice. Chin up, Airpaw. See? There's plenty of warriors ready to look for your mentor.
He sat away from the crowd. The last attempt. His paws itched to go, but he went on so many before. It would not make a difference. Please, StarClan, have them be okay, he muttered.
It's awfully late for a search party, Snowstep mumbled, seemingly to herself.
Awkwardly, gently, Mountainleap curled her tail around Airpaw's small body, trying to provide comfort.
He just shrank more.
Snowstep pressed her nose to Mountainleap's shoulder. Let's get some rest. Your paws must be tired from your patrol.
Oh, she looked side to side, startled for a moment by Snowstep's sudden affection. Yeah. Airpaw, we'll begin your training tomorrow. She walked away without a second thought.
He just stared.
Snowstep settled in the nest, tucking her paws under her large frame. She let Mountainleap sink into her fur.
Mountainleap embraced Snowstep. It was comforting, knowing she was there for him.
Snowstep didn't sleep, anxious about the search patrol. She just stared out into the clearing, waiting. Snowstep eventually stood, leaving the nest without a word. Birch Scatter kept his fur from bristling. If anything, he looked miserable. A pang of guilt and horror plagued his amber eyes as he walked with shaky paws. Well? She asked expectantly. He stepped forward. Nothing. Snowstep peered over the crowd, looking at Birch Scatter. She clicked her tongue, looking to her paws, brows furrowed. Then I suppose that's that, she murmured. Why was he so frantic? His ears flicked. Nothing that they saw. He wanted to tell. He wanted to say something. Something meaningful to Mousestar, but his jaw was shut. You all get some rest. I appreciate your efforts, despite the lack of results.
His paws fell, standing, hearing the collective results as they just started to shake, and tears started to form. No.
He truly can't be gone, right? She meowed in worry. We have done all we could, she replied simply, unsure what else to say. Birch Scatter had to look away. He couldn't pay attention, with thoughts. Snowstep pushed past the other cats. The Tom tried to flatten his fur back down. What was up with him? He must have found something to ruffle his fur so bad, but what? Luchtong was missing, not dead. Snowstep stood, passing by Birch Scatter with an odd look, though she didn't dwell on it for long. Snowstep brushed her cheeks against the tall grass, marking it with her scent as she let out a purr. As she patted, she nudged her nose between the blades of grass, only stopping when she saw an odd shape among the sand. She swept her paw along the sand, disturbing it and allowing a clump of fur to rise to the surface. The fur, once white, was stained a sickly brown color from being buried for so long. She picked it up between her claws. This must have been what Birch Scatter found. Birch Scatter's eyes widened. He stepped out of the bush immediately. You found it! He seemed so eager. You found it! It? Snowstep flicked the fur from her claws. This is why you were so frantic? A wave of relief washed over the Tom. Finally, some cat he could tell. The heavy weight on his shoulders lessened. I didn't know who to tell. I couldn't bring such a realization to the clan. But now I can tell you. Snowstep's whiskers twitched. The clan doesn't need to know. It's just a tuft of fur. This could have been from moons ago. She scraped her claws through the tuft of fur on the ground, nearly destroying it. He paused. What? His breath hitched, watching the feline get rid of the tuft of fur that he thought meant so much. But what if... Don't you think it could be him? He frets. It doesn't matter, Snowstep repeated. It would bring false hope to a clan that's already getting over it. Loach Song is gone. He couldn't believe that. Why would you get rid of it? Scatter hisses, before frantically searching around. No! Where is it? Where? Snowstep let out a hiss, visibly frightened by Birch Scatter coming close. She hissed, darting forward and slamming him to the ground. Shush it! She snarled. The Tom turned around in an attempt to scan the stained tuft of fur, only to be facing Snowstep, with horror in his eyes. His words were cut off immediately, once in pain. What did he do wrong? I'm not going to let you send the clan into disarray over a tuft of fur! And now that she'd attacked him, he probably would anyway. Scatter's eyes widened as he gritted his teeth. What do you mean? Snowstep's eyes narrowed as a thought seemed to cross her mind. She said nothing. She swept the claw she used to hold him down, tearing it from his front down to his belly. The feline's distressed yowl couldn't even come out in time, the abrupt slash causing his body to convulse. In just a few moments, he was dead, blood staining the ground underneath. Snowstep flinched as the large wound splattered onto her pelt. She just stared. It was over so fast. What did she do? What have I done?
Seeing Snowstep in the distance, Mountainleap rushed forward, giddy. Snowflake! She ran closer, but before she could embrace her lover, the sight of blood had her freeze. Snowflake?
Snowstep's pupils grew huge as she saw the approaching feline. Faint tears welled in her eyes, muddied by the rain. She stammered. I don't know what happened. Blood still covered her claws, incriminating her.
He walked slowly, carefully, closer. It couldn't have been. Someone as soft and gentle as Snowstep couldn't have done this. So, why am I so afraid? What happened to him? That was all she could muster.
She swallowed. She winced. He came at me. He said he saw something in the search patrol. He thought a cat killed Loach Song, and worse. Since I denied it to be true, he thought maybe you had done it. He was going to hurt you. It might have been because I said no cat would have done that, and you're the only cat I would defend. The blood on her pelt was beginning to wash away with the rain, leaving her soaked and red-tinted. But his body... She glanced over. They'll think he was right if... She winced. We need to get rid of him.
Mountainleap searched for something in Snowstep's eyes, but she couldn't find anything. She seemed so earnest. They took in a deep breath, contemplative. Okay, she spoke, voice still shaking. We can push the body into the river, and hopefully it can't be traced back to us.
The rain will make the river rush. She nodded. This was weird to consider. You'd think. She padded forward, pushing herself under his lower half, waiting for Mountainleap to follow.
Reluctantly, he followed, pushing Birch Scatter by his throat. Ugh. A terrible feeling seeped into his gut as he did.
Despite this, she couldn't seem to cry. The rain will wash the rest of this away, right?
She looked at her paws in horror. Maybe, but we could cover the rest up to be safe. The idea of this being traced back to her, she shut her eyes tight.
A part of her felt bad for getting Mountainleap into this, but the other parts... Catch something and put it over it. They'll assume it was a dead rabbit or something, and the rain will cover the scent.
Mountainleap looked into Snowstep's eyes. Okay, yeah, I can do that. They nodded slowly, sniffling. They slinked away on wobbly paw steps.
Wait, she padded forward.
Mountainleap forcefully flattened her fur. Snow?
She put a paw under Mountainleap's chin, forcing him to look up at her. Nobody will know. This is a secret you and I will share. Alone. Was she trying to be romantic?
Mountainleap felt something. She didn't like it. She didn't like any of this, but for Snowstep... Right. Our secret. Of course. She spoke softly.
Snowstep licked her on the forehead and nodded, holding eye contact for an unnatural amount of time before heading back to camp, fur now clean from the pouring rain. She cleaned her pelt, though it was fruitless with the rain continuing to trickle down her back.
Hey, you. His eyes looked them up and down. I know you're close with with Mountainleap. Have you seen them? They said they were getting me a rabbit earlier.
No, only this morning. With the rain stopping, she could actually dry her pelt now. But that probably means she's hunting now.
His weight shifted as he looked at him. Hopefully. His gut twisted at the thought. Did they leave him too?
Mountainleap walked in empty-pawed. He seemed a lot more skittish than usual.
Mountainleap, there you are. I was just starting to Was it too hard to find a rabbit? He tilted his head, more happy his doubts were dismayed.
Snowstep's eyes lit up a bit.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Airpaw. I couldn't find anything, but next chance I get, I promise you, buddy. He grit his teeth a little.
Rabbits can be hard to find, Snowstep added. But when they get one, it'll be the best rabbit you've ever had.
No, it's fine. I'm used to it at this rate. His paws pressed together more.
Mountainleap reacted to Snowstep's words strangely. It's hard to imagine this being the same cat who did all of that. He shook the thought out of his head. So, Airpaw, how far along were you in, well, I guess that won't matter until later. We could do hunting training together tomorrow, and maybe we'll get lucky?
His ears lowered more, seeing this discomfort in Mountainleap's tone. Was he okay? He glared towards Snowstep for a moment, trying to read their, well, expression, then turned back. Right, sure.
Sounds great, Mountainleap smiled, looking up at the stars. It's, getting late. Snowstep, how about we, get some rest? She looked a bit flustered? It was hard to read her.
She nodded. I'll see if I can join your training tomorrow, if Weeping Willow doesn't put me on patrol. I'm sure I can sway her to let me go for a day.
Mountainleap smiled, getting closer to Snowstep, gently brushing her tail against hers. And you should get some rest too, Airpaw.
Oh, then sleep well. Don't vanish. He noticed Snowstep's quietness and all this. He felt like he missed a chapter on something and just dismissed themselves.
Snowstep stood. Don't let him stray from you, she mumbled, padding onward.
She followed, silently.
She was still trying to get the taste of iron out of her fur.
Mountainleap lay down in the nest, letting the warmth swallow her whole. Maybe, if she just let herself rest enough, the thoughts would drift away, like a bad dream.
Snowstep woke rather quickly when the warmth of the sun made its way into the den. She nosed Mountainleap up.
Mountainleap startled awake. Blech. Snowstep, she groaned for a moment, though it was more lighthearted than anything.
She let out a soft chuckle. As much of a morning cat as ever, she meowed, padding out of the den.
Feeling warm, Mountainleap followed, right on her tail.
Training today, yes?
Yes, I have to admit I'm a bit nervous. I don't think I'm the best with kids.
He'll be fine, Snowstep insisted. There's a first for everything, and he's already had base level training. Just act like you're training with a warrior that doesn't know as much.
I guess you're right. She emphasized the guess with a smirk. It was easier today.
His eyes looked up. Morning, Mountainleap. He didn't even bat an eye to Snowstep.
Airpaw! Hey, ready for some training? Me and Snowstep were just discussing plans, he beamed.
Snowstep! Her head snapped to their kin. When was your last patrol? Her eyes squinting. Ah, hi, Weeping Willow. She rolled her eyes. Before the search party? There was no use lying to the cat that literally organizes all of the patrols. You're going on a patrol, she said bluntly. Can I at least lead it? She squinted.
Wait, Snowstep was being separated from her? Oh, no, she started to get antsy. Patrol? How about, me and Airpaw tag along?
Nuh-uh. You two always end up running off. Not this time, she sat.
I just think I'd, really like to accompany Snowstep on patrol. You see, she couldn't make up an excuse.
Come on, Snowstep's tail lashed. Remember when we were apprentices and you were like, if I become leader, you'll be my deputy? Where's that attitude now? In front of our current leader? That's one way to bring that up. Nuh-uh, she stated again. I know what you are. If Weeping Willow believes it is best for Snowstep to patrol separately, then it will be, she said, finally.
I mean, I thought we could just go on a training anyhow. You know, warrior, apprentice, not two. His eyes glanced to Snowstep, then back.
Leader's word is law, or something. She looked to Mountainleap. I'll be here when you return, and you can show me what Airpaw catches. She shuffled. Haha, no Mountainleap for you!
Mountainleap tried not to look too frantic. Of course, that's, perfectly fine. Good luck, Snowflake. She pressed her nose against hers, and then dismissed herself. Come on, Airpaw.
Snowstep sat uncomfortably close to her sister. Are you jealous? She glanced over. What? You always stared at Mousestar. Is it a crime for me to want to be next to Mountainleap the same way? She stomped her sister's tail. Hard. She could feel the tips of her ears grow hot. What did Snowstep mean by that? She slipped her tail out from under Weeping Willow's paw. Hurting a warrior in front of your leader. Crazy work. She side-glanced to the leader, her face feeling warm. Gather for patrols, she yelled, louder than intended. She felt incredibly out of place and very, very awkward, though she tried not to show it. Mapleskip, Apricot Paws, you two are going to lead this border patrol. Tell my sister to do whatever you guys need, she murmured, the last part squinting at her sister. You are dismissed. A patrol led by 2 cats. Impressive, she mocked, fluffing her tail into Weeping Willow's face as she walked away. What, do you not like me? She cleared her throat. We have another cat with us, right? Mapleskip, yeah. She nodded, turning before bapping the cat in the back of the head. He shook himself awake. Patrols, you bird brain! Oh. You're in charge, right? She pointed. You're both. Huh? Oh, right. They take the lead. Of course. She can't even be independent. The warrior scoffs. Let's get it moving, then. Apricot Paws paused, taking in the scent. Oh, look who it is. She let out a shrill noise as she saw Mountainleap. They'd looked towards the 2 cats. Her brows arched. Yeah, she's been acting hella weird lately, she comments, pivoting. Let's keep going. Weird how? See anything? Besides clanmates. She turned to Snowstep. You don't see it? She tilted her head. They blink, trying to get a better look. I don't think I see anyone. Maple Skip. Is Mountainleap not attached to Snowstep? I can't be the only one seeing those two clung to each other like burrs. Snowstep's whisker switched. And that's weird behavior. How? She pushed past. Yeah, but it's not like in a normal way. Like he saw something crazy or whatever. I don't know. I just get bad vibes from Mountainleap. Her pupils narrowed. Apricot paws scratched at the nearby bark. Who's Maple Skip gonna lead to? He gave her a chance to really think. Well, I stand on what I said. Mountainleap seems overly distracted on their warrior duties, and I think that's worthy enough for them to deem them a slacker. Maple Skip looked between the two warriors. They didn't have much to add. After all, they didn't know the cat well like that. Well, Maple Skip, why don't you scan the area ahead? Seems I've left Snowstep a bit, speechless, or something. I'll follow you soon. Right. He padded forward. Snowstep's tail flicked. Not speechless, just confused where you'd get that impression from. She chuckled. I mean, maybe it has something to do with Loach Song. Just the odd cat in general. She shrugged it off like it was nothing, humming a tune as she began to follow Maple Skip's trail. She sniffed the area to keep track of the scent. Where had this mouse brain gone off to? Snowstep's paws grew heavy. This was dangerous. Was this some kind of rumor? And who was spreading it? Her body tensed. She ran forward, slamming her paw into Apricot's paw's tail to stop them. Ah! She yelled, turning. What the? She stepped forward, slamming her other paw into the smaller cat's spine. She quickly flipped her over and bit into her throat. Let go of my tail! Do you know how long it took to make it look pretty? She hissed, trying to bat off the feline, but missing. Apricot paw's eyes widened. She tore out the fur, spitting it out almost instantly as she staggered back. She let out a cut-off gag, limping over. No one was going to hurt Mountainleap, and no one was going to hurt her. In a fit of rage, she leapt down, splashing harshly into the river. She ducked under the surface, diving through the rapids, ridding her pelt of any trace of apricot paws, and calming herself with a swim.
Okay, Mountainleap started, trying to ease herself into the training mindset. Hunting. I'm sure you know the basics by now, right?
Mm-hmm. Lachon was a good... I mean, yes, I do. He had to get his mind off, well, them.
Mountainleap winced at the mention of Loach Song. She had almost forgotten. Oh, StarClan, someone's going to notice that Birch Scatter's missing too. She tried to force the thoughts away. Good. How about we start off with a practice run? I can watch you hunt, keep an eye out for what needs work.
His eyes widened slightly, seeing the small flinch in their eyes. Right. Yeah, that would work. He nodded along. He almost forgot how bad it gets.
After you, he nodded.
He got down into a hunted crouch, trying to recall his placements, and then pushed on. He took a sniff of the air, catching a scent of a rabbit.
Mountainleap's tail swished, focused on her apprentice. And only her apprentice. Nothing else clouded her mind.
Finally, emerging back out, with a large hair in his maw. "Oh, I did it!" he said, muffled.
Mountainleap smiled, proud. Great catch! Come over here, let me get a better look.
He patted over. For once, his eyes beamed of joy.
Your tracking is great. I just think the only thing you need to work on is positioning. The wind could have blown your scent towards the rabbit, giving yourself away. Besides that, though, great job. You're gonna make a shining example of a hunter once you become a warrior. Mountainleap walked towards the edge of the rock, thinking. Hey, by the way...
He nodded. Wow, actual advice on hunting a hare? Loach Song would never. He said, still muffled.
I'm sorry I didn't catch the rabbit, and I still haven't made up for it. It's silly, but I do still feel bad. Mountainleap shook it off, but something still clung to her, a bad feeling.
He set the rabbit down. Oh, it's fine, I get it. There was a lot going on that day. Besides, you're probably dealing with something with Snowstep anyway.
Mountainleap looked down, getting anxious. I mean, nothing really happened. It was just... he couldn't come up with anything. Oh, stars. A rabbit's hard to come by.
Right. Sorry, I'm just concerned. You seem so forced when you're around them. I don't think I can't notice. You look a lot more happier training me than since I met both of you. I just want to make sure my mentor is okay. I don't want to feel like losing another one anytime soon.
Mountainleap looked away. Did she really seem unhappy around Snowstep? She couldn't imagine that. It's nothing a young cat like you should worry about, she grimaced. Was she in danger still?
He huffed. But I do worry. I've been worrying for moons. I don't want to mess up again. I don't want to have my mentor be pushed away. Not again. Not by me. Not by Snowstep. I want you to be safe and okay. You're kind and nice and care about others. And I don't want you to be changed by some cat. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't seem right.
She turned. It felt like ice was crawling down her throat. She started to choke up. You can't! If you... She looked around, afraid she was being watched. If you look too deep, She shut her eyes. I don't want something to happen to you. Please, she pleaded.
He stood in silence for a few moments. You won't tell me, even if I ask, won't you?
Mountainleap was shaking. I'm sorry. He straightened himself out, trying to get a hold of himself. He sat close to the apprentice, his voice quiet. Listen to me, Airpaw. You'll take that rabbit back to camp, and we'll speak nothing of this. You understand?
He lowered his head and exhaled. With that, he grabbed back his rabbit and gave a nod, and then patted the camp quietly.
Mountainleap did not follow. She needed a moment alone.
Reporting back from the patrol. She fumbled over her words briefly before clearing her throat in attempts to regain at least some of her composure. Pardon, then. Would it be fitting for me to call you my Weeping Willow? Oh, hello, Snowstep! She said, far louder than intended. Why, hello, the dearest sisters that just happened to be mine. Anything to report? Mapleskip and Apricot Paws were arguing over who was actually leading the patrol. I saw claws and sheath, and I got out of there, but I was able to patrol most of the border on my own. Ah, I see, she thought for a moment. Where? I need to make sure no casualties happened. Snowstep chuckled, though slightly nervously. By the bridge, but they should be back by now. Messer sat quietly, letting Weeping Willow handle it. She had made a fool of herself, and wasn't exactly keen on making things worse. Okay, Freakazoid, I'll be out then. I'll see you later, my mouse star, she muttered embarrassingly, speed-walking away. Her gaze followed Weeping Willow as she patted away, a jaw agape at the comment. She pitied the cat that would stumble upon Apricot Paw's body, and it had to be her sister.
She flattened her fur. She tried to forget the conversation with Airpaw. Hey, Snow. How was the patrol?
Fine. I think Weeping Willow was trying to get under my fur with the cats I was sent out with, but I made it back. How was training?
Fine. She squeaked a little. Airpaw managed to finally catch that rabbit. They'll make a great warrior.
Are you okay? She tilted her head. You seem twitchy.
Just a little on edge. She rested her head on Snowstep's shoulder. She didn't feel as warm as usual.
She swiftly dropped the body on the floor. Quick, Pike! She shot up. The consequence. Oh, jeez. He flinched at the body, eyes wide. I can't tell if there's any chance of... She stammered.
Mountainleap's paws felt numb. No, it couldn't have. She couldn't have.
Where? A blink, glancing between Weeping Willow and the warrior. He trotted forward, nose pressed against the cat's neck. His brows furrowed, a pained sound escaping from him as he shuffled away, continuing to nose at Apricot Paws. I can't. Snowstep didn't look surprised. I found her near the bridge. They were on a patrol with Maple Skip and... She thought about what her sister told her. They fought. A blink, glancing up to Weeping Willow. Cats fighting? He continued to paw at Apricot Paw's body, as if hoping that would do anything. StarClan, please. He gritted his teeth. He let out an exasperated sigh, defeated. I can't do anything about... I glanced back up to the deputy. Guilty. I don't... She said, sighing. I see. I'm sorry. A pathetic murmur, softly lapping his tongue against Apricot Paw's fur. Snowstep tensed as Maple Skip patted forward. She pinned her ears back, flattening them tightly against her head. It's okay. You tried. She sighed. No. What happened? Her voice cracked. No, I know. He shouldered himself upright, huffing. I should have known. Weeping Willow, can you help me carry Apricot Paws to the den? He stared at her, eyes glossy. She'd stare at the deputy, then back to the menacing cat. There was a fight, Weeping Willow told me. By the bridge. He relayed to Maple Skip, frowning. Maple Skip's eyebrow raised. Fight? What did you do? Her eyes narrowing into Maple Skip's eyes. That's gonna get messy. Snowstep nudged Mountainleap. Maple Skip gasped. Murder? No, I would never. I swear to StarClan, I didn't do anything. Gently, he grabbed Apricot Paws by the scruff, clueless to the shift in the air. He had a job to do.
Mountainleap frowned a little, but she got up, resigning herself to whatever Snowstep wanted.
One of the last cats that saw her was you. Snowstep informed me that you fought with her. Maple Skip turned. They'll handle it. Come on, my love. They avoided Maple Skip's accusing gaze. She sat, staring at her paws.
She averted her gaze from Snowstep's face.
You know I'd do anything for you, right? She didn't look at her, eyes fixed on the ground.
I know, she breathed. Was that a bad thing? Should she run from this? She didn't know. She didn't know what she wanted.
Anything. The word slipped from her teeth, almost like she was trying to convince herself of her own words. To keep you safe.
She didn't respond. She just lay beside Snowstep, letting herself accept her once again, resting her head next to her.
Like always, Snowstep was the first of the two to wake. She didn't know how she was sleeping so well, all things considered. She knows Mountainleap.
She stirred. She lifted her head to look at her love, eyes droopy. Snowflake.
She didn't say anything, but a purr rumbled within her as she stood.
She followed, silent.
She got a look at Maple Skip in the prison. What a shame.
Her fur prickled at Snowstep's words.
He dips his head, unsure of what to say in response. Keep an eye on that one, Snowstep teased to Frosted Current, referring to the distraught maple skip within the den.
Following Snowstep around silently felt so easy. It almost felt like if she didn't think about it, then it'd be okay. She could be fine with this.
Training again today? She kept her head up, facing forward, as if trying to ignore everything that wasn't right in front of her.
Training! Right. You could join us, you know. Make up for yesterday. It was as if she had just woke back up.
I'd love to. She nodded.
Let's go get Airpaw, she spoke with a passive, dumb grin. Come on, she walked off with a flick of her tail.
Is there something in there?
He blinks, coming back for his senses, and looks at the two. Oh, morning, Mentor! Snow. He hesitates saying it.
Airpaw, she spoke firmer than she intended. Let's train today, okay? And, Snowstep will actually be joining us this time, patrols be darned.
Really? Are you... Never mind. Sure. Got it. His fur rised a bit, recalling what happened, well, all yesterday.
Snowstep ignored the hesitance, stepping forwards. Let's go, then. I'm tired of being in camp.
Mountainleap sat still for a moment, wondering. How about you give Airpaw some competition? I'll have you two go out and look for prey, and whoever does the best, I could get a prize, like some prey or something. How's that sound?
Snowstep seemed to think for a moment. Seems fair.
He just stayed quiet, uneasy.
I'll catch something. It'll be fun. Promise. Training should be fun. See you two. She tried to disregard the sinking feeling in her chest.
What? He called after them, yet they vanished into the shrubbery too soon.
Snowstep scratched at her cheek fur. Were we supposed to start without her?
His eyes narrowed. I don't think so, he huffed.
I guess we wait, then. Snowstep glanced to the side, to the bridge where she'd previously patrolled.
His eyes followed, then turned. So, about the body last night. It was very shocking.
As if a dead warrior isn't always shocking. Snowstep glanced over awkwardly.
Yeah, I know that. Yet, for who was it again? My small child head doesn't recall.
What? She looked over. Acorn paws? You forgot that fast? That's almost sad.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot the cat you went on with patrol with was. Now that makes sense. His fur rised slightly.
She huffed, looking to the side. What was this child on about?
The cat you were left alone with, and turned up dead. His eyes narrowed, trying to see if anything, any reaction.
I wasn't left alone with her. I was on a patrol, Fleabrain. Don't act like you know anything. The fur on her spine rose. You're just a kid. Don't look for something you don't want the answer to.
Right, sorry. Funny how Mountainleap said the exact same thing, but about you.
You talked about me? She blinked, seeming actually surprised. What had you so worried?
What had me? She was all spooked! Like walking on sharp branches! What's going on with you two? What are you not telling me? I can see. I have eyes! And something's wrong!
She visibly flinched. Have you considered a cat would be upset that cats are dying? You think that's the fault of a single cat? She stood, but kept her body language loose. Calm down.
Of course I would! I understand more than any cat right now! My mentor was missing for moons! And I never got the answer what happened! I'm tired of being in the dark on everything!
Snowstep's pupils grew larger, a pang of sympathy striking her. It's okay.
He turned, swatting their paws away from them. No, it's not! It never was! Lochsong was so much to me, and I meant to just move on?
That's all you can do. The rest of the clan is suffering as you are, but if every cat stopped their lives just to find one, the clan wouldn't survive, she urged.
He lowered his head as his fur flattened on the comment.
She sighed heavily. Lochsong losing his life shouldn't be the end of yours, even if it feels like it. She was running out of words to say.
His ears flicked and lifted his head up. How are we so sure they're dead? He's not dead. His eyes filled with tears again.
Khan is what I meant. From here. She shuffled a bit, going quiet.
His ears lowered more. For once, he actually read Snowstep's emotion, and they just lied to him. He backed away.
Her tail tip flicked. She glanced over her shoulder. How long does hunting a single thing take? She scraped her paws through the dirt anxiously. How far was Airpaw going to take this?
His body felt hollow, staring at them. He recalled everything that Mountainleap said on that training. Should he even dare press further? Yet, the answer was all he could think of, and curiosity took over. You know what happened to Lochsong, don't you? He finally spoke, cold and hard to say.
I know as much as any cat. Shut your maw, seriously. She was growing irritated.
You're lying. Your eyes keep giving you away. He slipped out.
What difference would it make if I did? She snapped. Seriously, Airpaw, what is your point?
The difference is that you didn't tell others. The difference is you're letting all those cats live in the dark on what happened to their clanmate, to their friend, to their mentor. He huffed. Tell me the truth. What happened? He said, as any stubborn kid would.
Snowstep seemed to crack. He slipped, she said, simply. We were playing on the riverbed, and he slipped.
His ears perked fully now, and just took it all in. An actual answer to something bothering him for moons. That's all.
He slipped, and he hit his head. I got scared. It looked really bad. Really, really bad. I thought someone would find him. I really did. But he must have gotten washed away. She sounded frantic.
And you didn't tell anyone? Let us just go on some wild goose chase? His voice cracked. Instead of anger, it was sad.
I thought it would go away. She looked down. Where is Mountainleap? But you kept pushing. Then Birch Scatter found his fur, and Apricot Paws thought Mountainleap did it. I had to protect her. Her pupils narrowed to slits.
He backed away. The shift in their tone made them shiver.
I never wanted to hurt anyone. She stepped forward, a scary look on her face. But I had to. And you did nothing but give me more tracks to cover.
What?
I will do anything to protect her, even if it means keeping myself from getting caught. She let out a screech, rearing up and slashing giant claws across the apprentice's face. You found something you didn't want to see. She placed her paw on the back of his head.
He let out a horrified yowl, feeling the claw marks deep into his skin. He tried to open his eyes in a panic, yet he didn't see anything. It was all dark.
She bent down and picked up Airpaw by the scruff, sinking her teeth into his neck and throwing him harshly.
A small sound came out, and then silence.
Mountainleap froze. Snowflake?
That same terrified look in her eyes. But this time she didn't know what to say.
The rabbit fell from her maw. He couldn't even hear the thud with the sound of her ears ringing. You... Something built up inside of her. What did you do?
She stepped back, giving Mountainleap clear sight of what she had done. He figured it out. He knew what we did.
The words washed over her, and the pieces started to fall into place. We? No. You set me up! This wasn't supposed to happen! It was you! They yowled. It was always you. Mountainleap sounded defeated. She couldn't see the cat she loved in Snowstep anymore.
She swallowed the lump in her throat. Airpaw finds us out. Then what? I get exiled? What happens to you? Her voice was grim. There was no easy way out of this. You knew that.
I didn't do anything, she insisted. Airpaw didn't do anything. What is wrong with you? Why did I let you drag me down with you?
Let me? She howled. You wanted this. You wanted me to do whatever it took to keep you at my side, because you loved me.
Mountainleap flinched. I do love you. Stars, it's suffocating me. I can't stand this anymore. I'm done helping you, she growled. Mountainleap didn't wait to hear Snowstep's pitiful excuses. Not anymore. Wordlessly, he went to grab Airpaw's corpse to bring him back to camp.
Snowstep pushed themselves between Airpaw and Mountainleap rather aggressively. No! If you... Mountainleap, you'll doom yourself if they find out!
Frankly, I don't care what happens to me at this point! I'm ending this! He locked eyes with Snowstep, with the venom building up in his throat.
I won't let you. If I have to protect you from yourself, I will. Snowstep's fur rose. Please.
Mountainleap considered for a moment, accepting this. She felt sick to her stomach. She turned away and began to go back. If Snowstep wouldn't let her take the body, she'd go back anyways and tell everyone.
Stop! She growled. Mountainleap, please. She was just begging now.
Mountainleap backed away. Snowstep wasn't going to let her leave, was she? Get out of my way, she barked as a final warning to her.
Or what? A Hemitic grin parted her maw. There's no getting out of this, not in a way you'll like. I can handle it, let me!
Mountainleap didn't wait. She rushed forward and slashed Snowstep's throat out. Mountainleap's breath was shaky, and she was trying not to collapse. She looked at the bodies beside her, fully realizing what had just happened. Oh, StarClan! She shoved the body aside with a growl. StarClan, I didn't want this to happen! She pleaded, to no answer. Snowstep was gone. She was alone. There was nothing left for her to do than to take them both home and face the consequences. All of them. Airpaw, she tried not to feel nauseous, lifting the cat up onto her shoulders. Maybe he was at peace now. Mountainleap hoped she'd never know. And then, Snowstep, her dearest snowflake. She gagged. She grabbed her by the scruff. She knew peace would never come to her again. It almost comforted her. Pushing the feeling aside, Mountainleap began to drag them back home. She didn't know what would happen to her when she came back. She didn't care. All she knew was that she was free.